Well, guys, to start, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I had forgotten to record the intro at the very beginning. This is within the last week of this video, but this is going to be the intro to Life Monthly 3. So, we'll just recap again, transparent. I was really late to doing this intro. I apologize. Things have changed since the actual beginning of it. But last time, it was 128 pounds is what I weighed. I've been really, really struggling with the collab and everything. But I managed to edit my second, Life Monthly very well. I really did enjoy doing that one. And in the ending segment, I'll say how I changed and what has changed since then. So, again, I apologize for the very, very late intro, but I wanted to do an intro to this video anyway. So, enjoy Life Monthly 3. Well, today was actually not too bad of a day. I actually managed to get down to my cousin's for Christmas, like this year for Christmas Eve, and I stayed 2 hours. It was hard, it was hard at first. I had to remember to take it 1 hour at a time and not to make any decision until the last half hour or so, whether I was going or not. And it worked. I ended up getting myself there, and I saw my family, which you'll see a picture of me, but I'm blurring the rest of the family member's face out of respect, because I don't know who wants to be shown and who doesn't. But yeah, so I'm just so proud of myself for that. I stayed, I was originally planning just to stay a half hour, and I stayed 2 hours. So honestly, I feel that was great. I played a bit of The Sims 4. Don't have much footage for that, but I was trying to distract myself, and I watched a bit of YouTube, but really, I didn't do very much through the day besides going to that gathering, but I did finish recording and uploading the Life Monthly number 2, so that is awesome as well. I didn't really do any exercise or the sweeping, so the main wins for me were getting to that gathering and finishing the Life Monthly. But yeah, it was a good Christmas Eve. Yes, I had a little bit of flare up through after the gathering, but I told myself, Haley, you did brilliant, Haley. I used words like bloody, but I mean, it was true. I may have used a few other words too, but I said, don't let yourself down. You're having a flare up, as I am now. You're having a flare up now. Well, everything is over with. The main thing is over with. You did very well today. Take this time. Don't worry about your IBS flare up, because you did really, really good tonight. And I'm just trying to tell myself that. So, Merry Christmas Eve to you guys. The next thing you'll see is how my Christmas went. Well, Merry Christmas. Today was an amazing day. I did have a bit of an IBS flare-up, but I got everything that I wanted and more for Christmas. And, I mean, you're going to see this after my Christmas video anyway, so one highlight is the exercise bike. I'm only bringing this up because it's going to be relevant. I had a good dinner, but I listened to my aunt and just, I had a big plate, I guess, and didn't finish it. And then I did a 17-minute bike, exercise bike ride, which actually did help with the digestion. But I also worked on what I got for Christmas video. I recorded it. So all there is to do is edit. I didn't do very much, though. Today was more about, Christmas and enjoying, the dinner and all that. So I did kind of what mattered. I did play. I also got a couple new Sims packs. that was one thing I said earlier last vlog, that I got a couple of games, right? They were the expansions, so they're not full games, if you know what I mean. But I was playing a little bit of that. I'm still figuring the mod things out, you know. But so far it looks okay, that I didn't have any issues, you know, going back to playing with my mods. I might have a bit of a UI like issue, but it's more of a cosmetic, because I could play everything else fine. So I'm just not going to try to mess with it if I could play the rest of the game fine. But yeah, it was a really good Christmas. Like, I got a lot and more that I wanted. But one thing that I thought was really sweet is that I got as I mentioned, a Nintendo eShop card, and my aunt went from Uncle Dave, or David, and that was just so sweet. Like, she said, well, if Dave were here, he would have gotten it, or well, he may have gotten it Timmy's card, but if he knew I wanted, he would have gotten it, probably more, right? But so I figured it'd be nice to put that card from Dave, and it was. Like, it was so sweet. And we said grace for Dave at dinner. Like, it was a good dinner. Like, we had ham, potatoes, turkey, carrots, beans. Like, I may have overdid it a bit, putting it on my plate, but at least I listened to my aunt, which is a Christmas miracle itself, be saying, you know what, you're right, I'm going to put it away. That was a first for me when it came to food, like thinking, well, maybe I should listen to you. And I'm glad I did, because I already was having a bit of a flare-up as it was after, you know. So imagine if I had tried to eat the whole thing. So maybe this is a step in the right direction, that I'm learning to listen to my body and listen to other people. But I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Like, again, it was a great Christmas. We opened our gifts at midnight, but so my aunt could work on the dinner. But I got, again, everything we wanted and more, but you'll probably have seen that in the Christmas vlog. I only said some of the things that stood out for a reason, and if they had certain reasons for it. Well, today was a mixed day. I did walk to Tim Hortons for a large ice cap, which was good. I got a lot of exercise, and I did enjoy as much as I can of the ice cap. I had some chocolate and some sun chips, but my IBS did sort of act up bad. Again, it was probably the ice cap that pushed everything, plus from the dinner yesterday. But I did finish editing the Christmas video, and it's going to be scheduled for tomorrow, so look forward to that. I actually also started a new game of Pokemon Omega Ruby. I'm going to do a Nuzlocke on it. It was a long time since I've played the ORAS games, or the Hoenn games, so I figured, well, this will be one of my break games, my handheld break games, and I'm playing it on the new 2DS, which is amazing, actually. I'll show you my team there, but I'm doing pretty good. I'm super training them as well, and doing the Pokemon me, although, well, they say it was hard for Silcoon because it wouldn't eat, but I got it eventually. I got it to 2 hearts eventually. Constant rubbing it. Yeah, if this was a real life scenario, I would not be even trying. It's a bug, but yeah, it is what it is. I think I did handle my anxiety relatively well today, despite everything going on with my IBS. So there's a win there. I also got my aunt a birthday donut when I went to Tim Hortons for the ice cap, so I'm glad she enjoyed that. Well, today was actually a pretty good day. I walked up and down the street 3 times. I actually made a very nice birthday card for my aunt. It took me a while to decide what I wanted to do, but I think it turned out really well. I played quite a bit more Pokemon Omega Ruby. Didn't make any real game progress, but I'm raising my team as best as I can because it's a Nuzlocke, so I want it to be as safe as possible, if you know what I mean. I actually was very mindful eating today. I had my meal and I stopped before I even felt full, and did the bike for about 12 minutes, but there was a little incident where the pedal fell off, but Kathy did fix it relatively easy and tightened the other pedal for I wouldn't have any issues with that again. I guess it wasn't just screwed on properly is what it was. But in the end, it worked out really well. And I recorded a Monster Energy trying of the Monster Energy Rehab Wild Berry Tea. And, well, you'll have to see whenever that video comes out to see what I felt about it. So I did very well today. I kept mindful. I did a video. I made a birthday card for my aunt. So today was a really good day. Well, today was a pretty good day. Kathy loved her card that I made for her. I walked to Timmy's for a large iced coffee and to get my aunt another donut for her birthday. I played quite a bit of Pokemon Omega Ruby. I got the first gym badge. And I'm working towards grinding my Pokemon for the second gym badge. I got my material ready for Life Without a Filter 3 week 1. I'm just looking forward to hopefully to set tomorrow that my package will be in there. Oh, yeah. I did also forget to mention that I lost 3 pounds. I'm 125 pounds, so that is awesome as well. And I think I was really mindful with my eating, too. So it was a really good day today. Well, today was kind of a mad, day. My cold was like just awful today, but I did enjoy some of more leftovers of my aunt's, Christmas dinner. I actually got the book. The first 4 years went in the mail, and I recorded the unboxing, plus I recorded the list price, that big thing from girls for $3 to $99. That what I did a video on that as well. So I did get a little stuff done for my channel. Besides that, I mostly played some Pokemon Omega Ruby, like the Nuzlocke, and I'm enjoying it. It was a while again since I played Hoenn, and I figured now that I've beaten Animal Crossing to my satisfaction that I wanted to have something else just to easily play, if you know what I mean. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to eventually get back to like Pokemon Legends Set A and Persona 4 Gold, and I'm just taking my time with all of those things. I did the bike quite a bit today, too. Once 10 minutes and 12 minutes, I believe. So I'm getting into the seam of things there a little bit. But yeah, like my IBS was relatively tame though, which was a good thing. But I just have you ever just felt drained? That's kind of how I felt today overall. But at least I did get some things done with those videos. So there's that. Well, today was kind of a mixed day. I had a pretty bad IBS flare-up. But I did walk to Tim Hortons for a large iced coffee. I played quite a bit of Pokemon Omega Ruby. Well, not quite a bit. I got the second gym badge, but I was mostly grinding my Pokemon. The one thing that I am not grateful for, but I did well today, is that my aunt was coming down to give my other aunt some birthday stuff, and I wasn't originally going to go down and see her because of how I was feeling, but I decided to in the very end of it, like once I calmed down enough. So that was a win, I think. And she did bring me a ice cap, but I'm putting that in the freezer for tomorrow. I know it's kind of a bite in the butt doing that to a degree, but I made a mature decision based on how I was feeling. And I really think it was a mature decision. I'm starting to finally learn to listen to my body, if you know what I mean. And you could argue, well, you made a rash decision almost not visiting your aunt. But when you think about it, I was just told and that she was on her way. So it wasn't like I knew for 2 hours and say, I'm definitely not going to do it. At that time, I was not feeling good. She was already on her way. So at that time, that was the decision that probably would have been smarter. but I was in there for a bit, and I figured she'd probably be there. If she had left, she had left. I would go and see if she was there. If she was, I'd visit, and she was. And I got to show her my Christmas stuff over the phone, because I figured, well, my uncle, to say, had a surgery on his eye, and they wouldn't want to be down there very long. So rather than have going through all that stuff and having her come upstairs, I showed her over the phone. And I am so glad that I came down, because it shows that I'm also improving. Like, I'm learning to calm down on my own and make decisions on my own, like that I would need a lot of help with, like that. Like, my anxiety, when it's bad, I'm almost inconsolable. The fact I was able to, calm myself down like that, I think is a big win for me, honestly. But besides that, there wasn't very much. I watched, some YouTube, including Pushing Up Roses. Was it Amish cooking? There was a Christmas movie or something. Maybe I'll show you what I mean. But yeah, today, though, could have been worse. Well, today was mostly a good day, except for this moment that I'm just feeling the effects of the drinking I had today. But I started off pretty good, drinking the ice cap that my aunt and uncle got me yesterday. And I actually recorded the footage for my Enchanted by Nature overview. Eventually I'll narrate it, but just not for a while, not today. I also was feeling a little bit off, and I didn't know if I would be spending New Year's Eve with my aunt, but I ended up spending a few hours with her and drinking, as I said, and I had some good snacks like the pizza Lunchables, some of those kettle chips, some pepperoni and cheese. Plus, I had 2 glasses of Smirnoff Ice and a Mud Shake, chocolate flavor, I believe, or milkshake. I forget what they called it. I'm gonna add some footage so you'll see. And we just both played our respective games while talking, and we had some cool little like hats and New Year's Eve stuff, which was cool. Again, the aftermath isn't very good. I'm feeling nauseous, but I'm trying to keep myself calm, knowing that if, for example, if I was in a hospital, I would probably be one of the last people seen because of urgency in the triage. So I should say I'm uncomfortable, but I'm safe, and hopefully that tomorrow I'll feel better. And it's funny how one of the first things I remembered was, well, this is why I hadn't drank for 10 months. Like, because I felt similar 10 months ago when I had my last drink. I'm like, okay, so this is why I stopped drinking. Well, you know what? It is what it is. Overall, the night was good. I enjoyed, I don't regret spending that time with my aunt. That moment was very precious. And let's just hope tomorrow and the new year is a better day. Well, today wasn't the greatest day. What I was talking about last night carried for a while into this morning. I mean, I finally did calm down when I found out it was mostly just alcohol-related gas. Like, the nausea was, like, it wasn't dry heaving or anything. The anxiety was amplifying it. And anything like the vape that normally helps didn't for the longest time, because I think of the alcohol. So, but I did get better eventually. But today was mostly just recovering from the bout last night. And I still did a little bit of exercise, and I did the sweeping. But besides that, there wasn't really anything YouTube-wise or video game-wise or reading, It was mostly me just getting back into the swing of things a little bit. Hopefully, tomorrow will be a better day that way. Well, today was a pretty good day. I did quite a bit for YouTube. I, fully edited 2 videos and had them scheduled. I had uploaded the first 4 years unboxing, and I did the narration and edited by Enchanted by Nature Sims Overview, and that'll be scheduled for some point. I did do the first 3 days, I think, in week 1 of Life Monthly 3. So I did a little bit, I think editing was where I went right today, with YouTube. I also did I walked up and down the street, and I walked to Tim Hortons for a large ice cap. It was cold, but at least I got the exercise in. I did the sweeping, and I think I did handle my anxiety relatively well today. I think I'm getting to a point now, again, knock on wood, that I'm starting to kind of accept, of course, IBS is awful, right? The pain is awful, but I'm starting to get to a point where I am kind of living with it in a way. I'm like, well, yes, this sucks, it's there, but what am I going to do about it, really? I do everything that I can do, and I'm starting to get to a point where it isn't affecting me as badly, anxiety-wise. At least at this point. It depends on day to day is different, right? But today was kind of one of those manageable days, which again, any day like that is a win in my books, because manageable is better than non-manageable, even if it isn't fantastic. But yeah, at least I'm proud that I got a lot of editing done and the exercise done. And I did enjoy 2 bologna sandwiches today as well, and drank quite a bit of water. Well, today was kind of a meh day. Wasn't feeling the greatest, I was tired and that. But I did do the exercise bike twice, for a total of about 24 minutes. Besides that, I mostly watched YouTube if I wasn't kind of sleeping. I do know that that's kind of underwhelming, but it was just one of those days. But I did just remember something else. I was doing some more of my, journaling of things that actually helped me. I was using this journal, and I put, different things in it. I only got 2 things in it right now. One that I wrote today, and that was on days of important events. I was saying how if it's negotiable, just assume I'm not doing anything, not doing it, not thinking about it, right up until the last 30 minutes, at the minimum, right, is the hour to make a decision. And if not, I just have to keep taking some of my vape and just trying to distract myself, because it is non-negotiable. And it's don't worry about what ifs, take it an hour at a time, whatever happens, happens. That's kind of a mantra I have to try to think about, because it's true. I can't really control everything, and I have to tell myself that, right? Take it an hour at a time, I kind of was today. I ate more than I should have today, and it'll probably bite me in the ass later, but I've been doing pretty good overall for the most part, so that's what I have to think about. Well, today, again, wasn't the most productive day, but I did manage to do the exercise that I needed to do after I ate, which I went up and down the street 5 times, and I managed to do my sweeping for the day as well. I watched a bit of YouTube, not very much, but I did order a new SD card reader. Yes, I saved a little bit of money for I could get that, because my Asus computer does not have that feature anymore, unfortunately. I swear they're slowly removing things from it that actually are still useful, I think, in my opinion. But that's besides the point. I think that's the most exciting thing of the day, is that I ordered that, and hopefully the next few days to a week it should be in. But again, with Amazon, with the mail, I have no idea. So just gonna take it one day at a time, I guess. Well, today was kind of a mixed day. But today I did play quite a bit of Persona 4 Golden. I had some fun times with it. Like, one of my favorite points is they went to another area, another school. They did some exchange thing for a couple of days. And they had like moments, like, for example, they went to a club where they got artificially drunk. Like, you know how you would like there was no actual alcohol, but they got drunk on the atmosphere, and I thought that was absolutely hilarious. That was mostly Rizé, Yukiko, and Teddy. All three of them, you know, just went crazy, where she revealed to Nato that we went in the TV and we fought shadows with Persona, and oh my gosh, like, and in the end it was revealed there was no alcohol in it, and I'm like, can you get drunk on atmosphere? I have no idea. But they also went to a noodle shop where Teddy ate 11 servings of noodles and got stuck there. I mean, Teddy wasn't even supposed to be on that trip to begin with. He got himself boarded, you know, and got there. And I actually thought it was so funny. Right? And I got to the point where we were, you know, seeing, you know, Nato on the Midnight Channel, at least the shadow, anyway, the silhouette of Nato. And I also got Yukiko as my intimate partner, apparently, is who I chose, you know, when I was given the option. So it was a really interesting Persona 4 day. I mean, I played from the 4th to the 15th, but that was still a long story stretch, so it was a longer session of it. But I did do the bike for a little bit, and I also did the sweeping. So today wasn't, you know, very productive, if you know what I mean. Well, today wasn't too good of a day, but it wasn't too bad either. I did some walking today. I did the sweeping. I actually reordered my Nintendo Switch Online membership, so I'll have that all set up. So it was kind of just a very quiet day in general. Sorry for the lack of excitement, but some days are just like that. Well, today really wasn't the greatest day. I failed the collab again. I mean, at least this time I managed to wait until pretty much the last minute, and which again I guess was a bit of a win, but I really got to start stepping my game up. Because I think next week I'm going to, well, not force, I'm not going to use the word force, but I am going to not give that option to bow out again, regardless how I'm feeling, unless I physically can't. There's no way in heck that I could, which would be completely out of the, you know, normal for me, right? But I did try, like, everything. I did the walking, I had the vape, but I just was feeling off a little bit. But on a couple of positive notes, my SD card reader shipped, and I actually played a bit of the Sims 4, you know, to try to distract myself and up my mood a little bit, and that was fun as it was. I mean, maybe I just felt down because I was doing so well, but I gotta remember that I am still struggling, but I just can't let it get in the way with this anymore. I have to just do some things different, maybe. Like I've been going without sugar up until today for like 4 days, and the worst thing was that my energy, like I was almost lethargic, so maybe I might have to change that up a little bit without going too far with it, maybe. I just don't know, really. But hopefully I can just make the days going forward better than it was today. Well, today was sort of a so-so day. I didn't do very much at all, but I did shoveling, which I earned $5 for that. I did the sweeping and earned $2. And what else? I did start getting cards sorted for my card openings, the pictures that I'm going to include. So I made progress to edit those videos. So it wasn't a bad day at all. I did sleep a lot, but it is what it is. I do got to apologize that this week was not much at all. Some weeks are like that. Like, that is just my life. Sometimes you go through enough that all you can do is mentally just get through the day, whether it's watching YouTube or sleeping sometimes, which I know that part isn't so healthy. Believe me, I am going to try to work on that a little bit more, because I've been going downhill a couple of days, that way in a row, how I was feeling. But hopefully next week will be a better week. Well, today wasn't the worst day today. I had it on and off, but it is what it is. I recorded a bunch of videos to start my new SD card reader, or SD, just card. It isn't just an SD card reader, but my new Smart Q reader came in the mail today, and I did the unboxing of that. Plus, I did the toy openings for my 2 Disney Doorables and my Bat Habit Rabbit. And you'll have to wait to see what ones I get out of them, but I did all 3 of those videos along with the unboxing, so 4 videos today. Plus, I walked to Tim Hortons for a medium ice cap, and I got my aunt a donut. It was a really nice day out, and I had some conversation with some of the people there, and I honestly find that cool. Well, today was an okay day. I did some YouTube stuff, including I got, I think, week 1 for Life Monthly 3 edited. I recorded a retry of the 2-bite brownie, so you'll have to wait for that. And I edited my Liz Surprise, video and got it uploaded for today. So today was mostly a YouTube day. I did do the sweeping, so that went really well too. And I honestly can't think of anything else today, but at least YouTube-wise, I was pretty productive. Well, today was a pretty good day, actually. I got all my material downloaded to start editing, Life Monthly 3 Week 2. I also edited my Monster Energy Ultra Paradise video, and I have that scheduled. And I edited my Smart Q card reader video and got that scheduled as well. Now, I honestly didn't do very much, otherwise today. It was more of a YouTube preparation day for me. I did watch some YouTube like normal, but I was just pleased how I did with the YouTube stuff in general, and I hope you guys are liking my content. Like, I'm doing the best that I can with the things that I have and thinking of new ideas. So at least I handled things very well today. Well, today was an okay day. I did start editing week 2 of Life Monthly 3. I think I got 3 or 4 days finished out of the 7 to 8 days. I did the sweeping. I played quite a bit of The Sims 4, making some progress. Like, I now have a third kid in the second generation, Carrie, and my heir, David, is a child now, and the oldest is now married and has a kid on the way and is out, out of the house. So that was sort of fun. But I also had a very nice bath today. It was nice and warm and relaxing. Maybe a bit too hot, but it still was nice. Well, today was kind of a bittersweet day. I decided for the best for everyone that I'm going to let the N-Man64 and Mark finish the rest of the collab without me. I haven't been very reliable, and I just figured that I'm not going to let them prolong and suffer anymore. I figured I was with them for most of the time, and I'm willing to accept that I won't be there in the end. I was trying to think of the most mature decision to make for everyone and not just keep them hanging any longer. So I do wish them plenty of luck. But I did do some YouTube stuff today. As you notice here, I'm wearing a microphone. I don't know if I mentioned I did, but I ordered it and I did the unboxing of it today. And I also, did a toy opening of the Garbage Pail Kids Stranger Things, devoted Dustin. So I didn't realize it was Garbage Pail Kids until I saw, it took me a bit, but it's kind of like a collaboration, I guess, when they bring another series into one type of thing. So that's really cool. I think it's a really cool figurine. And I did that McDonald's one that I got, from that library. I think it was an Ankylosaurus. It's hard to pronounce. I apologize, but I even tried, I did the building. I used my camera, to record me building it, and I'm going to try to edit that into it. But my gosh, guys, were those ever interesting, things to do, videos to make. So, I did also, play a teeny bit of, I started my own file on Dokapon Kingdom, just to play through it on and off, because that's the only downside is I didn't technically finish the game because I didn't finish with them, but I'm like, it is what it is. I'll play a little bit on my own, it may be harder to do it on my own, but it'll just be something that I would just do on the down low, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, again, today was a bittersweet day that way, but at least I was productive for YouTube. Well, today wasn't the worst day, but I was a little bit out of it. I did manage to walk up and down the street 4 times. I finished editing week 2 of Life Monthly 3, which was probably the biggest thing that I did today. But I also got, the pictures for my cards for my 3 Pokemon openings that I did and my 4 Disney Lorcana, cards. So, yeah. Honestly, I was feeling a bit out of it yesterday. But sometimes you just have those days. Like, I didn't play games or anything, but I did listen to a lot of Let's Read's Christmas stories, which is awesome. I'm really enjoying that series. It's just a nice thing to listen to in the background. Well, guys, today wasn't too bad so far. I finally started to make progress in my New Year's countdown. It is sort of, I did some narration for some of the entries, and I did do the opening segment, got that part actually edited. So, yeah, again, I'm sorry for it being so slow with that, but I want to make sure I get it all right this year as best as I can. And let me see, what else did I do? I mean, there really isn't very much of note, except for that, really. I watched a bit of YouTube. I started watching Antonia the Sheep's Top 75 Anti-Tobacco PSA, or Smoking PSA. It's good so far. I actually did some exercise with walking up and down the street. I did the sweeping again. There's nothing really new with that. And I'm just trying to keep up in general with my mental health, reading my mood and everything. It is pretty difficult. Like, every day is a different day. Some days I could do extremely well with things. The next, I'm doing nothing but laying. I did sleep quite a bit today as well, which was the first time in a while that I did that. But you know what? Tomorrow's another day. Well, today was an okay day. Originally, I was planning to go to the theater, but I decided against it. Both my aunt and I really weren't in the mood for it, and the weather was bad. But we did go to Dairy Queen, and I got 2 double cheese burgers plain, and we went to Tim Hortons, and I got a medium ice cap, which I really enjoyed. The other part of the day, I was doing some stuff for my New Year's countdown. I recorded the segments 10 to 8, I believe. I was in the process of doing 7, and the microphone got me a little bit confused, so it is what it is, I guess. Some days are worse than others, and I still had a good day, even though it was tough. I fought through the most of it when I had anxiety today, so that was pretty cool as well. I did watch some more of Antonia the Sheep's Top 75 Anti-Tobacco PSAs, and there was literally one entry at number 30 that it was the one entry that had a disclaimer, and right in the middle of me reading it, Antonia's avatar just shouts, "Wait!" and then just does a verbal, and I'm like, dude, I know your intentions were pure, but geez, jump scare much. But I mean, that was also kind of funny, like, because I wasn't expecting it, and oh my gosh, the timing was so good. But yeah, the message was serious enough. Like, the topic of that PSA, it was a horrible PSA. There's cheaper ways to do it. I'm not going to get into it because it's a harmful topic in a way. So, yeah. So today was average, I guess. Well, today was a pretty good day. To start off with is I did a lot of YouTube stuff. I got all my narration done for my top 14 videos of 2025. I fully edited 3 videos. I edited my first Disney Doorables video that isn't Muppets. It's one of the 2 I got for Christmas. I edited my unboxing of my mini microphones, like my clippable microphones. And I did a building of a McDonald's / Jurassic Park I think it's Archelosaurus or Ankylosaurus, one of the two. But that was an interesting video to record and, to edit, right? Because I had to edit the middle section of it. I walked up and down the street 5 times. I did the sweeping. Plus, I started a new password journal, not really showing you what's in it, but this will help me with the passwords. It's set up really cool. I'm not showing you the inside because it shows my information, but it's a cool looking one. So, for the last day of this week, it was a pretty good day. Well, today was actually a really good day. I managed to do a lot. I did I was doing this not this journal, but a note saying here where I'm writing down little things that I can do each day. And I don't have to get all of them, but if I get at least 3 things done, I'll eventually get a piece of candy or something, each day. Today I did quite a few things on my list. I read about 27 pages of The Castle of Lear. I got from chapter 13 to chapter 16, and I am 4 chapters away from finishing, which is awesome. I actually did a bit of coloring. I tried to do activity, and I did a bit of coloring, and it was fun. But it's still I'm still learning, everything, right? I have so many coloring pencils there and whatever that I have to find the right ones, and then I have to decide what I want. Where I'm doing a random the bad dogs behaving badly one. I'm also washing my face more, right? I've cleaned other ways, but because I don't like soap, I'm getting used to using soap on my face, if you know what I mean, because of the sensory issues. That's always been an issue, but I'm trying to do that. Also, I get some exercise, with, up and down the street about 5 times. I also did some organization of my Pokemon cards. I did the first 2 pages of binder 1. So technically 36 cards. I got them cataloged. So I think I did really well today. There were some things that I didn't do, make progress in a game or do YouTube, but that's fine, right? It's having these options and doing the best that I can do, which again, I don't allow myself to get away with anything but 3. And one thing has to be sort of a bigger thing. For me, my reading was, and the exercise was. Anything washing my face and washing my glasses, they still count, right? As some of them, but I need to get at least one of the bigger things on my list done for the other 2 to fully count. So, again, I did so well today. And on top of that, I did the sweeping as well, which wasn't on the list because I've already made that a habit. So anything that becomes a good habit, I remove from adding it to the list. I'm just trying to build habits and build routines a little bit. Today, I also stayed up till 7:30. Now, that might not work every day, mind you, but today it worked really well. I had a lot of energy. But I know that not every day is going to be like that, and some days are going to be worse than others. Today is just the high, right? If you know what I mean. But at least as long as I try to do a minimum of what I've put, then at least it's a win. Well, today was actually a really good day. I actually managed to edit at least, from 14 to 10 of my New Year's countdown. So that was awesome. I made a lot of progress in Pokemon Legends Set A. I beat Rogue Megaphenosaur. Plus, I managed to beat Chastity, in her tournament, and Zygarde to get to rank B. Okay, that wasn't a lot of progress to some people, but to me, that was great. I made it to my goal. and more, honestly. So that was a lot of fun as well. I also read about 21 pages of the complete Peanuts 1959 to 1960. I believe I'm now on page, 274, I believe. But I'm not 100% sure. I did 2 bikes today. So I pretty much got everything on my list done, which was absolutely awesome. It doesn't happen very often, but today was just an awesome day. Well, today was actually a pretty good day, despite how it started out. Started out me not feeling the greatest. I just kind of felt out of it. So I did take gravel to see if I'd feel better. But I did walk up and down the street some, and my cousin actually took me to Tim Hortons for a large iced coffee, and we got my aunt a coffee and a donut, which she really enjoyed. I did make some progress in week 3 of Life Monthly 3. I got a couple of days edited in, so I'm making some progress in that. Speaking of progress, I made some progress in Pokemon Omega Ruby. I grinded a little bit of my team, and now I'm using, cosplay Pikachu as an encounter, because I need an electric type, because I didn't get Electrike. So for now, that Pikachu will do. I have the one with Drain and Kiss, because that's the most viable option for me right now. I read a bit of the complete Peanuts 1959 to 1960, about 12 pages, I believe. I'm on page 287. I just couldn't really remember it, but it is getting good, right? I'm enjoying it quite a bit. So today was more of a lower maintenance day, if you know what I mean. I wasn't feeling good, so I just did not the bare minimum, but they're on my list for a reason. I have to learn these habits, like washing my face and cleaning my glasses and things like that. And the exercise, I did 2 sets actually of walking up and down the street. One time I did 3, but then I went with my cousin for a Timmy's, so that was interrupted. And then I did 4, without being interrupted. So, that's great. And of course, I did the sweeping. There's nothing new really with that. So, we'll say today was a lower maintenance day, but it was still a really good day. Well, today was an iffy day. To start with, something I hadn't said yet because I didn't know if it was the right time, but my aunt said that it was okay that I shared it with you. About a week or so prior, she was diagnosed with bladder cancer. Now, thankfully, they caught it early, and she's away tonight, so that tomorrow she can get it removed from her. But before I get to the rest of my day, I was kind of up a lot until at least 4:30 a.m. because I was thinking about it a lot. And I was listening to this fan fiction about what if Harry got to relive his life from age 3 with his 17-year-old cognition and everything he learned mentally in his head. So he could change things, right? And practice and be prepared for everything. And it was a 7-hour, it was I was listening to it. It was on YouTube, a 7-hour fan fiction. I got about almost 4 hours in. I'm really enjoying it. It surprisingly is addictive. That the idea of that is so cool, actually. But besides that, despite the lack of sleep I had, I did pretty good. I made some serious progress in Pokemon Omega Ruby. I defeated Watson for the Dynamo badge, and I beat Wally for the first time out of the 2. But Jesus, this one is the easiest battle. I feel almost so bad for him, but I also grinded my teammates a little bit too to be prepared. I made some progress in my week 3 of Life Monthly 3. I have only a few days left, I think, to edit in. And yeah, like, I had to re-download some things. I mentioned it in week 3 as well, because for some reason nothing would work, but I finally got it all sorted out. I even read a bit of the Complete Peanuts 1959 to 1960. I believe I'm on page 308. So I'm making some really good progress there. I think I'm almost done. I also did, a walk, and then I did the bike as well. So I got some serious exercise in as well, and did the sweeping. So despite how everything was going, I did really well today. Well, today was a pretty good day. My aunt got out of surgery and she's doing great. It went very well. I also worked a bit on my New Year's countdown. I believe I did entries 9 to 7, I believe. It's hard to completely remember because I did a lot today, but I did make some progress in that. And I actually finished reading the Complete Peanuts 1959 to 1960. I guess there was only 5 pages left of that, so that is awesome. And I started reading the great illustrated classics, The Call of the Wild, and I got to page 22 on there, so I read a tiny bit. Right, but not a whole lot. I did some exercise with the exercise bike. So, yeah, today was actually really good despite all the anxiety. Well, today was actually a really tough day for me in a way. My IBS was worse than it has been in a long time. And it started off as a good day. I walked to Tim Hortons for a large ice cap, and I got my aunt a donut. But shortly after that, my symptoms started really bad. But I did read quite a bit of The Call of the Wild. I went from page 22 to page 77. So I made a lot of progress in that. I did do some editing of my New Year's countdown. I believe now I'm on number 4. I'm just starting to edit number 4. So I think I got from 7 to then. So about 3 entries that I did today. So I did pretty good with that. I actually did a word search for a bit when I wasn't feeling good, so I did something a little more creative. I played some Pokemon Omega Ruby. I didn't make a lot of actual progress, but I did get some TMs, and I caught a lot of my encounters to prepare, for later in the game. Let me see what else. I think today was more a day for me to just kind of fight. I did a lot better with doing that. And I actually did watch a couple of episodes of SpongeBob on the TV to take a break a bit from YouTube for a bit. I watched 3. I watched Reef Blower, which was a 2-minute one. I watched, Tea at the Tree Dome, and I watched Bubble Stand. Now, I know technically that was a total of 25 minutes for all 3, but that is still a start, with everything, which I really did enjoy. I pretty much got everything done on my list despite how I was feeling. So, yeah, today was, I would say, it was a rough day, but a successful day. Well, today wasn't too bad of a day. I actually listened to 2 chapters of Pokemon Links Between Worlds, so I'm not quite caught up, but I am starting to catch up. I edited up to entry 4 in my top, 14 videos of 2025. I'm doing pretty good with that. And I listened to about 3 chapters of The Castle of Lear. I'm now on chapter 19, just 2 chapters to go. I'm really, really enjoying it. I cannot believe it's already near the end of that book, but I just feel so pleased with how I did there. And again, I was going through quite a rough patch with my IBS, so doing all that and including a walk as well, and the sweeping, it's like I was done with the list for a little while that day, and I still got it done. Again, I know I say a lot, but for a last day of this vlog, I think I did really well. Maybe next week I'll finish the castle, or next month I'll finish the Castle of Lear and such. I mean, I did play a bit of Pokemon Omega Ruby too, but it was mostly just grinding Numble up a little bit. But still, I think that it was a successful day. Now, I cannot believe we're already at the end of Life Monthly 3. A lot has happened this month. We celebrated Christmas. I made the mature decision to stop my participation with the collab and let Mark and the Unman 64 could finish without me, because I did not want to be a burden any further with it, and I wanted them to be able to finish a project they were already struggling with. Yes, I know it would have been the best if I had actually shown up, but I knew that it probably wasn't going to get any better in those prior 2 weeks, so I made the next maturest decision by telling them ahead of time, finish it without me. Also, I had gained a little bit, I both lost and gained a little bit of weight. It's kind of hard to explain. I think I don't know where I ended. It was 128, maybe, so I lost since then, being 124, but I had still gained a pound and such. I've tried a new system with the list making, and so far it seems to be working okay for a lot of reasons. So, I've played some games in that. I just feel that this month was pretty satisfying to me. Maybe not as much as last month's entry, but hey, every day, every month is different. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.